In this video, as requested by a commenter on how to be a variety of villains, I want to go into how to be Bane in real life. Before I begin, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on my social medias as well. So Bane is a roided out monster thanks to the fictional drug Venom. However, even before this, Bane was quite a strong character. A real quick background, he grew up in a prison where he trained and learned to become an absolute monster. Going through his training in prison, as a child, he was thrown into an isolated cell where water would come through the bars when the tide rose. Though fearful at first, he would use this as a way to both mark the days and also catch fish, as shown in one panel. Besides the terrifying aspect of getting drowned every fucking night, the swimming portion in itself is a great exercise as it hits muscle strength, builds endurance, and also hits cardiovascular fitness. A way to mimic this in a more safe environment is to go to your local pool or just a body of water if it's safe to jump into for the latter and swim. Of course, it's important to learn the proper technique on how to swim, and if you have a fear of swimming or water, to get over it through constant exposure to said water. Also, holding your breath for long periods of time, which is also going to be necessary if you want to catch fish underwater. The act in itself is associated with many positive effects, including positively affecting inflammation, increasing lifespan, and preventing stem cell damage to the brain, though it says possibly or maybe, so it isn't for sure. As for the hunting technique of fish, since he doesn't have any real weapons on him, at least when isolated in the cell, he may be using the technique of noodling, which is where you use your finger as bait to lure in the fish and then catch it when it comes close, as shown by this article and drawing from The Art of Manliness. After being moved to Gen Pop, he also did a variety of calisthenic exercises, specifically push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and a 20-mile run each day, with the last one I assume either in place or from corner to corner. His reps for the calisthenic exercises hits 1,000 plus each day, as such it will definitely grow muscle and strength. High reps of an exercise, as shown by this 2015 study on high load versus low load, showed that they both produce hypertrophy with no significant difference, though the high load with low reps, in comparison to the low load with numerous reps, was better for maximizing strength. Another study on push-ups versus bench shows that both showed significant increase in both push-up progression and bench, with the group that did the push-ups doing much better on push-up progression, and I would assume the ones that did the bench having much better on benching progression. In both cases though, they both did build upper body strength. So calisthenics can definitely build muscle, as explained by both a video and article by the Pioneer on the reasons why it happens. So while it can work, it'll take a longer time, and there could be limiting factors like muscular endurance or cardiovascular endurance, or injuries that may be irritated from high repetitions. But you should not forego this, as calisthenics can be useful when on the go, for example, and you cannot access a gym readily. And you can also add them onto your exercises to round it out. And while Bane didn't have this, you may want to add something like resistance bands of a variety of different strengths, which are both relatively cheap and very light, so you can bring them around with you, and allows you to add resistance to said calisthenic exercises. And if you can wedge them under a door or something heavy, or tie it to a pole, you can use it as a makeshift pulley machine. Another could be a jump rope, which can help you replace the 20 miles every day for cardio. Now with all this said, to be as strong as fucking Bane is, you're gonna have to lift some weights, specifically very heavy weights at low reps, so that you go more for strength as opposed to just hypertrophy or endurance. I have mentioned it in previous videos, so I'm not gonna go into it in too much detail, but basically compound exercises like the squat, deadlift, bench press, and even overhead press, making sure to be consistent, and doing micro jumps of like 2.5 pounds total, or even 1.25 pounds total, or even less if you can find the micro plates for them. Next thing that he does is meditation. So when locked in the isolation cell, he would meditate constantly as almost a form of entertainment. imagining fantastical lands that he imagined the world to be, even though he was trapped in a cell since day one. This sounds a lot like visualization meditation, which uses a guided imagery to cultivate certain psychological qualities. And some of the benefits, according to positivepsychology.com, is it helps maintain alertness, cultivates a psychological stability and well-being, enhances creativity, strengthens focus and goal achievement, and improves self-image. Besides this meditation, there are actually a multitude of them, all which have a variety of different benefits, which you can check out for more specifics. Another practice that Bane does is reading every single day, specifically 3 books a day. Now, it makes sense for someone trapped in a prison with no other form of entertainment to use books as an escape from the harsh reality. However, in a regular life, with screens and phones and tablets and whatever else, it can be hard to stay focused on one book, especially 3, every single day. As such, it would be better to start off slow, maybe going for a book a week or every 2 weeks, making sure to remember that the time isn't what's important, but that you absorb the information that you are reading. You may want to pull out a highlighter, you may want to take notes, or use some of the methods from the video that I made called Learn Like Batman, or other videos on how to learn effectively. And lastly is fighting. Bane would fight, especially thanks to the fact that there were very violent prisoners in said prison. I've already made a video on what martial arts would Batman use, which you may want to check out for a rounded idea. However, in my personal opinion, I think something like wrestling would really fit Bane well, as he's very aggressive, he's very strong, so things like folk style, freestyle, Pelwani wrestling, Greco-Roman, etc. could be up his alley. And it would make sense that he's able to lift Batman up, who is like 210 pounds plus maybe 70 pounds of armor, very easily and break his back. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and support the channel by hitting the join button for $2.99 a month.